Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Uranian Rain, aka Maggie, and today I'm going to show you my crystal collection. So I've been collecting crystals for, I think, just over 3 years now. The first crystal that I ever got was a gift for graduating high school. The rest of my homeroom class also got one. I don't know how many of them still use theirs, but I definitely still use mine. And so I think crystals are a really good way to just sort of, I guess, decorate your room. Even if you're not super spiritual, they are a nice decoration to have. For me, I feel that having crystals around the place really creates a more positive energy in my space. Obviously, I'm a very spiritual person, so I do work with them, that I meditate with them. I know not everybody believes in that kind of stuff, and that's fine. But even if you don't, they are just, again, a nice way to sort of lift up your space and give it a more positive energy. So I'll show you all the crystals that I have. I don't know how many individual pieces I have. I'll count them and then put the number here. But anyway, I'm going to show you them now. So we'll start with rose quartz. So this tumbled piece of rose quartz is the first crystal that I ever collected. So this was the gift that I got. And I also have 2 raw pieces of rose quartz. So this one was a Christmas present, and then this one I bought myself. Used to be a little bit bigger, but it broke, so it's a little bit smaller now. And the raw crystals are a lot more fragile, so they are much more likely to break. So if you have crystals, just be careful with the raw ones, because they are much more likely to break than the tumbled ones if you drop them. Next up we have clear quartz. So I have 3 tumbled pieces of clear quartz here that I keep around the place. That was good. And then I have 2, I guess they're both raw pieces. I have this one here, which kind of looks like a spearhead, and then one of my favorite crystals that I have is this point, because I just think it's so pretty. It has so many rainbows in it when you get it in the right light, and I just really like crystals that look like this. Then smoky quartz. I have 2 pieces of smoky quartz that can be very hard to find when I'm putting them under the full moon, because they just camouflage with the dirt when I put them on the ground. They are very hard to find again, but those are my pieces of smoky quartz. I have 3 pieces of amethyst. I'm only going to show you 2. I'll show you the 3rd one at the end so you can see why. But I have these 2 tumbled pieces of amethyst that I keep under my pillow to help me sleep. Just gonna flag, I don't think I've had a single nightmare since doing that. Make of that what you will. Can I stop dropping them? That'd be great. But you might see that this one is a little bit paler than this one. That is because I found out the hard way that not every crystal can go in the sun. So check what kind of crystal you have and whether or not it can go in the sun or water before you use them. Then I have 2 pieces of labradorite. One of them is this tumbled one right here, and then one of them is a gift I got. I don't know if it's supposed to be a necklace or a pendulum, but you can kind of use it either way. And you can see there's that kind of blue flash, which is what labradorite is known for. It looks kind of dull on the outside, but if you get it in the right light, you can see the shine, which is really cool. Then I have 2 pieces of malachite, which is a very pretty crystal that has all kinds of cool details in it. So I keep these on the top of this computer right here, because malachite's really good at zapping up EMF, electromagnetic frequency. So I keep it there so I'm not as harmed by the EMF when I'm on my computer, because I do tend to go on the computer a lot. I have a few pieces of citrine. So I have this tumbled piece that I bought myself, which is very pretty, very shiny and gold. And then I have this little jar of small pieces of citrine that I got as a gift from my old singing teacher, who's probably watching this right now. Hi, thanks for this. But I just keep that on my altar, and I may end up using them for spell work or things like that, but I'm not sure yet. I have 2 pieces of carnelian. This one is very interesting because it's very like speckled. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a speckled egg. I don't really know if that's a common thing for pieces of carnelian, but that's the one that I have there. And then I have this piece of carnelian, which I keep on my amp in the room where I have my guitars, because carnelian is really good for passion and drive, which is, I think, a good thing to be amplified, no pun intended, when I'm playing guitar, given the kind of music that I play. Alright, so then the rest of them are pretty much just things where I have 1 piece. So I have this piece of opalite right here, which is kind of like a blue color, but if you hold it up to the light in the right way, it kind of goes orange, which is really cool. I have a piece of fluorite. I don't know what kind of fluorite it is. I think it's just like a standard kind, but it's got these really cool purple stripes in it, which is really cool. Piece of moonstone, which kind of just looks like it's white, but the moonstone does have some really cool rainbow inclusions in it. So that's very pretty. I keep this next to my bedside table, or on my bedside table next to my bed. And I also keep this piece of lepidolite here, which is very pretty. And so lepido is Greek for scales, I think, because like a Lepidoptera is the family of scaled wings. It's a butterfly basically, so I think this is called lepidolite because it kind of looks like it has scales on it. Then I have this piece of black tourmaline, which, much like the rose quartz, used to be bigger. It's been dropped a few times, and I actually keep this on my altar, so I feel like I should probably get a new piece given that it's broken, because usually when a crystal breaks it means that it's kind of served its purpose. And black tourmaline is a very good protective stone. Anything that's dark is good for protection. Also good for protection, and also a gift from my old singing teacher. I have this piece of hematite. I've wanted hematite for so long because I think it's such a cool crystal. It has some really cool properties, and also it's just really pretty. It's this really nice kind of reflective silver color. I have this sodalite bracelet, which I don't really wear very much. I kind of just keep it, I don't know if you can see, but I have a jewelry hanger right here. I kind of just keep it in the jewelry hanger, like I barely ever wear it. I should probably wear it more, to be honest, but got this when I was in Inverloch down at the beach. Then I have this piece of green aventurine, which I didn't even realize until I looked at it up close, but it honestly looks like it has glitter in it, which is awesome. I love sort of sparkly crystals like that because it looks very matte, but then when you look closely it does have sparkles in it. This piece of amazonite that I keep on one end of my piano because amazonite is good for enhancing creative expression, and anywhere where there's musical instruments is going to be a creative space for me, so that's why I keep it there. I have this rhodonite thumbstone. This is the only thumbstone that I have, and I got this as a gift, and it's really cool because it's got, as it would suggest, a space for your thumb, so you can kind of hold it like this, and it's very comfortable to hold even just in your hand like this. I have this piece of celestite. A celestite is another crystal that I've wanted for a really long time. It's got a very calming energy and also a very nice pale blue color to it. Then I have this piece of green calcite right here, which has faded as a result of being in water. Turns out calcite fades in water, so it's not as vibrantly green as it used to be, but it's still a nice color and a really nice shape as well. And then I have this big whopping piece of chrysocolla. So chrysocolla is Gaia's crystal, which is why I decided to buy it, and so I have that on my altar with some other blue and green crystals. So this one is, as you can see, it's not translucent. It is kind of more like a rock than a crystal, but it's still very pretty. It's got all this really nice green and kind of brown colors to it. And then I have this little container right here, this little dragon container, and it's got a whole bunch of tiny crystals in it. I don't actually know what they all are because it just came in a box that was like, cool rocks, how many can you name, without actually like saying what they are. But then I have a couple of other little crystals that are from this box that are blue and green, so I keep them on my altar. I could take my best guess at what most of them are, but some of them I'm not really sure. I actually got them secondhand, don't worry, I cleansed them very well. And I also got this container because I used to work at an op shop. I wasn't originally going to get the container until one of my co-workers suggested the concept of a tiny dragon hoarding his gems, and that was way too cute, so I just had to buy this to put them in. And finally we have selenite, which is my favorite crystal. I have 3 pieces of selenite. We'll go from smallest to largest. So I have this selenite wand that I use for cleansing cards that I'm reading, cleansing the space, cleansing myself. It's really good because it's a wand shape. It's good to sort of point in that way. Then I have this selenite pyramid that I also keep on my altar. It's got a few battle scars from a time that I dropped it and it's been left in the rain, but that's okay, it adds character. It's still a pyramid shape and I'm just being much more careful with it, not leaving it out if it's gonna rain, and not carrying several things at once that mean I might drop it. You know, didn't think I'd have to learn that the hard way, but there you go. And also it was like $22, which for an unnaturally shaped crystal of that size is an absolute steal. So that's pretty cool. And finally, I'm gonna have to be exceptionally careful. This is the biggest crystal that I have. I have this massive whopping piece of selenite that I got as a gift for the Christmas that just passed. So this doesn't really have a home yet. Everything goes on my altar till it has a home. It may end up staying there, but because it's so big, I have to be really careful with where I put it because I don't want to put it somewhere that it might get damaged. Oh jeez, it's very fragile. So the final 4 crystals that I have are in all the corners of my room because they are part of a ward, so I didn't want to like take them down because that would be taking down the ward and then I'd have to put them back up. But I will insert some footage. I'm going to just go around my room so I can show them to you close up. So this is a little piece of hematite that I have above my door in the northeast corner. So hematite's a very good protective stone, so I have that right there. I don't know how well you can see, but it's kind of triangular shaped, so it fits the corner perfectly, which is why I decided to put it there. Then in the southeast corner, I have this beautiful amethyst geode, which again is point shaped, so I can kind of put it in the corner of the shelf that I am very precariously standing on right now to film it. But that's what this corner has. Here in the southwest corner on my bedside table, I have another piece of hematite, and I'm aware that my bedside table is very dusty, so just ignore that. But this is where I keep my other piece of hematite, so it's opposite the other one to kind of keep the balance. And finally, in the northwest corner, I have this piece of black obsidian, which is very cool. I'll kind of spin it around so that you can see the details on it. It's got all these really cool rings, and it's also very protective because it's black. So yes, that was my crystal collection. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was informative, interesting, you learned some stuff about crystals. So for this channel, I will be uploading sort of a combination of spiritual content and music content, just because my spirituality is a big part of my music. I didn't feel as welcome to talk about my spirituality on my main channel, where I'm pretty much just talking about metal. So a lot of my spiritual content will be here. I'll also be talking about my own music and music that I like. So there'll be sort of an overlap between the channels, but this is where all of the crystals and astrology and stuff is gonna go. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.